Say slave master system. Feeling helpless and hopeless is the worst feeling when you don't have money. When you can't change your current state, it can make the future look hopeless and the pressure of everyday life overwhelming. Just making sure you have food to eat is sometimes hard. I'm going to tell you how to get out of your current situation, but you have to listen carefully. There are too many things that are going against you right now. The economy is falling apart. Inflation is making everyone live harder lives. Automation is making everyone lose jobs. Rents are increasing and jobs are harder to find than ever. But you can do this and you can make it. So what you need now is the mindset and a system to allow you to take action. Instead of feeling sad for yourself, you must start taking action because only action can have a reaction from the world. The more action you take, the more changes will occur. And right now you need change. You have been down the wrong path for far too long, being tricked by commercials and marketing, brands, celebrities, into believing this is a life you need to live to not feel like you're missing out, making you want things you don't need. And this is the first reason why you are in this mess. You don't need to go to movie theaters or buy that expensive watch or bag. You don't need to have more than what is necessary for you to live and go about your day. Eating simple foods are healthier than the stuff you're eating because it looks delicious on TV or posters. See, all you need is simple food and water. Simple food is cheap and water is mostly free. Every other drink will just make you more thirsty, but water will actually quench your thirst and give you everything you need. Just know that everyone is just like you and they are all struggling. Forbes survey in 2023 concluded that more than 70% of households in the US are currently living paycheck to paycheck. That is a scary number. We are all putting our livelihood on a delicate balancing act, and we are all keeping a mask on to hide the money problems that we have. We are all afraid that other people might think we might look poor, that we have lots of debt, that we are not in control of our lives. And it is the fear and insecurity in you that is being controlled to buy things you don't need and look the way you don't have to, just for the approval and opinions of people you don't even care about. Because it is true what the Bible has warned us about making money your master. And even Francis Bacon, the American philosopher, has said, money is a good servant, but a terrible master. And you have been the slave of money for too long. It is a terrible master, and you are now stuck unless you are willing to change the way you think and the way you see the world. You must stop being a slave to money. See, wealth is everywhere, but you've been kept a prisoner from this wealth because of the marketing tactics from commercials and social media, telling you this is what you need to look like in order to be as happy as the people in the pictures. But see, these pictures are fake, and they are models and actors with makeup and plastic surgery. And I don't need to tell you how many of them have been fakes and imposters. So why are you trying to be like them? Giving them attention will further fill their pockets full of money and make you buy things you don't need and live a life you cannot afford. This life will make you eventually painful because it is a never-ending road that you will go down. The pleasure you will chase will always be insufficient. The target to reach will always be higher and higher. This world has no limits and no ends. It will not bring you happiness, only pain and anxiety to keep up with the looks and comparing yourself endlessly to people you can never outshine. And the people you meet will not be your friends. Now that you know this is not the way to keep going, let's talk about the wealth that is waiting for you. See, God created everything, and that means the wealth and fortunes of your life as well. And the Bible talks many times about how to be wealthy. This includes not getting into debt and working hard, saving and investing. Yes, God talks about investing. Why does a book from thousands of years ago talk about how to attain wealth? Because humans have been comparing themselves to their neighbors since the beginning of time. If there's a new way to look like you're living a better life, everyone wants to have it, even if they can't afford it. As Roman philosophy Epicurus will teach us, real pleasures of life is not in pleasing people you don't even love as much as yourself or your family. The real pleasures of life is being free from pain, being free from money troubles. Just imagine if you had gotten rid of all your debts and all your money troubles, how would that make you feel? Your shoulders would feel like a great weight has been lifted. At the end of the month, you will see you have so much money left over, and that is the real pleasure. This is when you can look like however you want, but by then, you will be smart with money because you have been applying the laws of wealth, and you are now the master of money. And money is your servant, and it is a good servant to have. So where is this wealth and how do you tap into it? You must have control of your attention and what you let into your mind, and start applying the laws of wealth. The laws of wealth are simple. Yet ever since the beginning of history, most humans have never been able to be a master of their money and wealth. Generations before you have done the same thing over and over again, making the same mistakes with money over and over again. You will stop making these mistakes. This is where the generational wealth curse will stop. Truth is always simple and in plain sight, while trickery looks complicated. It makes you confused, so you can become easily tricked. So stick to the simple. The hard part is making sure to do these things every day, like brushing your teeth or saying your prayers. The first thing you have to do is be clear about your goal. In order to start the save, slave, master system, you have to first start saving money. This means you need to cut unnecessary items you don't need that bring you no benefits. This includes subscriptions like Netflix, because these things will not only eat away at your income monthly, they will also make you want to please people and buy things you don't need. Instead of eating out because you don't have time, use your time to wake up early and make a lunch and a snack or two for your day. Bring your own water bottle, as most places have free water as long as you have a bottle to fill it with. You should have enough clothes for your wardrobe to last you until the end of your days on earth. See, clothing should only be bought when you need them, not because you want them. Tell yourself this also saves the earth and frees up money to give you true pleasures of peace of mind. If you don't have to drive to work, then figure out the cost for transportation, taking into account the cost of owning a car and the risk of it breaking down one day. You should always have risk management for everything in your life. The Stoics call this negative visualization. Seeing and preparing for the worst before it happens will allow your mind to be more at peace and prepared when it does happen. If you can do without a car, then save up additionally for possible repairs in the future and in case it breaks down, because most likely it will. Now, saving also means you can make more money on top of cutting your unnecessary spending. Don't leave your boring job and don't complain about having to get up for work. Wake up earlier and be thankful and look at the birds and the bees busy about their day, doing what they were born to do, to work on earth, adding to the earth's complexity and beauty. Then why are you so different? Tell yourself that your job is what you were born to do. Put on earth for and be grateful that you can contribute to the liveliness of earth. So do your job well. And when you have the time, look for a better job, a more secure job, and a job that takes up less time. Now, once you have saved up some money, like maybe $200, hide it. Hide it from your neighbors, because when they hear you are saving money, they will all be envious of you. Just imagine hearing your neighbors telling you, hey, I've started saving up some money. How does that make you feel? Like he's going somewhere. Like he's going somewhere in his life. Like he is in control of his life. So this is what you must do. The simple yet extremely difficult thing to do will start to give you the eventual pleasure you will have, free from pains of masters and money. When you have another $50 saved, hide it again. You can put it in a bank or a safe or like a coffer. In ancient days, money was hidden in jars, then hid underneath the floors or underground where no one looks. It is really difficult to find. So this is what you should do as well. Make it difficult to find. You know where it is, but it's a lot of trouble to get to it. This way, you will not be tempted by the occasional weakness you may feel to spend it and reward yourself for something so trivial. Because the biggest reward is giving yourself freedom. So don't be tricked by these cliche sayings. By rewarding yourself, you are actually making your previous hard work and discipline all go to waste. You have to start over, and this eventually will wear you out, and you will fall back to your old ways. Before you start paying off your masters, You must first have this money saved. It should help you to reduce the blow of something terrible happening. If you drive a car, you must save about $500 for unexpected repairs. If you have children, you must save about $300 per children for unexpected hospital visits. If you have a job that is not stable, you must have at least a month's salary saved up. 3 months would be best. This is your emergency fund, as the wealthy call it. They do this naturally. Some of this fund is in the form of gold, jewelry, watches that are collectibles and can be resold without any trouble. They also increase in value over time, so they are actually a hedge against inflation. That means they will not lose value like cash or paper money. Paper money has been replaced countless times in history. Empires fall, governments get overthrown, paper money becomes worthless. Then they print new money and give you a month to trade in your old money. Many people in rural areas, elderly, will have their savings wiped away overnight because of this. If you don't understand anything about this, that's okay. You have to first get rid of all your masters first, then worry about being a master of money. For now, just save the money for rainy day, as they call it. Because like the weather, it will rain when you least expect it. If you don't have an umbrella with you, you will get wet and disrupt your day. If you're a farmer, your crops will perish if the rain turns into a storm, and you will lose your farm if you don't have extra seeds and crops saved from your last harvest. So this money is the only thing that will cushion you from being broke, hungry, and even homeless. Many people become homeless just because of this one reason, that they didn't have a store of cash as an umbrella for the rain that will come. You hear of others losing everything from sudden financial crisis. It will be naive to think it won't happen to you eventually, so be prepared. Now we can move on to the next portion of the system, slaves. You are the slave to money because you keep adding debt to your money masters. You keep borrowing, and even without interest, you are still under the pressures of slavery. The work you do does not belong to you. You are now the slave to another, your master. This goes the same for your home. If you rent, you are the slave to your landlord. He is called a lord because in ancient times he was the master because he owned the land you toil on and in order to live. So first work on your slave status. Get rid of your masters one by one. In ancient times, your master would kill you for leaving him. However, the world is better now. You can pay your masters off and buy back your freedom. Freedom is everything. It is the ultimate pleasure and will make you look younger without getting a facelift and make you live longer without having to spend a fortune. But most of us who do not understand this keep adding to the master's books, making our time as slaves longer and longer as we keep being tempted by fleeting pleasures and trying to keep up our image for strangers and acquaintances. This is a simple system of paying off the debts of masters. Ironically, even credit cards are called masters, like MasterCard. This is what you can do. You start from the smallest to the largest debt, or from the highest interest to the lowest interest debt. It is the best thing to do a combination of all of this, and before you do this, you should consolidate your debts first. Consolidation is a tricky word that wealthy people use to mean putting all the debts into one place, hopefully with the lowest interest rate. Interest is the money you have to pay because you owe money to these masters. So find a kind master who will charge you a lesser fee for owing him money. And this will make your payments easier and simpler and with less interest. Because trickery works so well on humans, trick yourself to save more and pay off the masters whenever you have some money lying around. When you have to pay something, use whole numbers and you will have change left over. This is the money you didn't know you had, and you can save it and pay your masters. Now, the more masters you pay off, the more you are closer to true pleasure, free from pain and suffering under the weight of pressure from your debts, and the more room you will have to breathe. This will start making you feel addicted to your newfound self-control and power over your life. When you're done with one master, use the money you would have used to pay him and use it to pay the second master. The extra money from the first master being paid off will help you pay off the second master even faster. Do this until your debts and masters are all fully paid off. If you have a house that is also owned by a bank because you have a mortgage, pay this off with the same method as well. Use all the money you have extra from not having to pay your masters to pay off the original debt from the house. This is called paying off the principal. Banks are all about protecting their money. They gave you the money for your house because they know this house is worth a lot of money. See, your mortgage payments or the payment to pay back your bank masters of your houses was set up in a way so that they will win and you will lose if something happens. They can ask you to pay all the money owed on the house if they want. This is written in a paper you sign called the contract. They also set up the payments in a way so that you pay them the interest first. So they will make money from you from the start. Even if you don't finish paying the house off and they take it from you, they will have already made their money and still have your house, which is worth a lot of money. So in the end, they still win. This is why you have to pay back your house from them as soon as possible. This is called paying off the principal. Another fancy word the wealthy use to mean the original cost of the house. Now that you have the other masters paid off, use this extra money, even if it's $50 extra, and tell the bank you want to pay off the principal. Every time you do this, as the same with your previous masters, you will reduce the amount you have to pay every month and the interest the masters want you to pay as well, because now you are actually buying back your house bit by bit. Now, before we talk about becoming a master, let's talk about the problem of all humans since the beginning of time. See, in ancient times, people have always tricked people because we are greedy, lazy, and don't want to learn anything. This makes us easy targets for get-rich-quick schemes. Get-rich-quick schemes are tricks given out by people who want to be rich without working hard. They may have been victims of get-rich-quick schemes and have figured out how it works because they were tricked into it as well. When you see ads where people tell you how to make money quickly and easily, always keep this question in your mind the entire time. Ask yourself, why would they want me to make money if they could just make more themselves? How do they get money from me or benefit from me? And why me? What do they stand to make from my joining? And why are they being my friends or friendly to me? What risks are they not telling me? Will I go to jail? If you help to launder money, which is to help illegal money from drugs or crimes become clean, which makes illegal money that is traceable to a crime go through normal transactions, like using you to help make withdrawals and deposits, which make banks and governments no longer suspicious, then this is called money laundering. The risks are not just about losing your money, also about ending up in jail or having trouble with the government. This way, you can protect yourself and see through everyone's trickery. Now, money is not easy to earn. Why are they saying that they are nearly giving it out for free? After asking yourself these questions, then you will convince yourself that this is a trick. These tricksters will usually tell you that this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is when you can be certain that it is. They will usually tell you you don't need any experience, any money, only a little time, and you will be as rich as they are. This is when you can be sure that it is definitely a trick. Then they will tell you that you are a few that they selected and that you only have a few seconds to decide. Then you can be absolutely sure that it really is a trick. They don't want you to take the time to think about it because they're afraid your rational mind and your reasoning will soon figure out the truth. And when this happens, just walk away and never talk to them again, as they will figure out other ways to gain your trust. This is them seducing you and talking directly to your greed and laziness, the two things that will get you into more money trouble and make you a slave even more. If you think of other investments or ways of being a master, you will most likely hear people talk about stocks, investing in other companies and making money when the market is up. Stock markets are a place of greed and speculation. This fancy word means that people can keep throwing money in and increase the value of a stock because they believe in it. Belief can be changed. When people get scared, stocks will fall. Stocks will rise slowly, drawing you in bit by bit until you fear you will be missing out on all the gains, and then when you do, it will fail quickly. There are inner circles of wealthy individuals who work together to make stocks look appealing to normal people. They call normal people stupid money because stupid money is easily tricked. They have so much money that they can make penny stocks or stocks worth a little amount rise in price. Then the newspaper and online media will start to promote it. YouTubers will start to promote it. And when you hear it, it will already be too late. The inner circle and the middle circle and the outer circle will have already bought the stock. That is why it is at a higher price. And when you, the masses, start to buy, then they will start to sell, making many times their money and handing the overpriced stock to you, the stupid money. Of course, you can watch the news and media and see which one is being targeted by the smart money. If you do this, buy it fast and then sell it when you make some money quickly before the smart money starts to leave. But this is also risky and you are part of the trickery process. But this is your decision. So do not fall for quick and easy money, as this will only make your appetite and greed bigger as you have trained your brain to make a quick buck or go the easy way. If this sounds like gambling, you are correct because it is. Few people buy stocks correctly, but even they sometimes will use their big money and the connections they have to sell before they lose money. This means you will lose money because someone has to take the fall, and this will most likely be you. So if you are playing stocks, but you don't know anyone in the inner circle 1, inner circle 2, or inner circle 3, then don't play with fire. These are the inner circles you're going to be playing with if you play stocks. Inner Circle 1 is the top executives and their immediate top executive friends and board members. They are the controllers of the top enterprises and know what each company may or may not be doing. They use large amounts of cash to buy up stocks to affect who has control of a company, especially before annual board meetings. This is where all the people who can control a large company get together and look over their future goals and how much money they have made and want to make in the future. These people are the first to control stock prices as they have lots of money and people who will lend them money like banks and private investors like their rich friends. Now this leads into circle number 2, which is the rich friends and their family and friends. They know of movements in certain companies because they know the executives. They are friends or even neighbors and talk about what the company will do. They also have a lot of money and can make a stock price go up or down by buying or selling because they buy and sell a lot of stocks at a time. When they start pooling their money together with their other rich friends in other industries just to buy or sell one stock, you can see why your money can easily become a little goldfish in an ocean of sharks. Now the third circle is the brokers and people who come in contact with the executives and investors. These are brokerage firms and people who make it their jobs and business to know friends who are in big companies and who are either investors or executives, and will usually give them tips about what may happen to a company. All of this is illegal because this is called insider trading, but don't be naive thinking that this doesn't happen. It happens informally during dinner conversations, golf games, and executive social clubs. If you are not in the inner circle 1, 2, or 3, then you have to know that you are gambling with your money. And if this is you, then don't get greedy and just sell when you have made money. And don't look back. Don't have fear of missing out because you sold early and others are making more. Be happy and content that you didn't lose money gambling. Because just imagine if you did lose all that money, then you will be broke, and mentally you will also be broken. You will fall back to your old thinking and you will never get out of being a slave. If you want to invest in stocks, which is okay if you can control your impulses and greed, then you can invest in stocks that are stable and yield a good return passively through dividends. Coca-Cola is a good example of a stable stock that has good returns in a long period. However, if you want to invest in more exciting sectors like tech sector, then you are more open to risks and speculations just from the number of large players involved. Penny stocks are stocks that are really cheap that are doing poorly or are brand new. I would stay away from these, as these are prime targets for inner circles or even groups of small investors to try to pump up and dump on stupid money. If you'd like to learn more about stocks, let me know in the comments below. The first thing I would do, and you could even start now, is to look at which resources you have that people want right now. In college, many people would sell their sperms or eggs for a couple bucks. This would not be recommended, as this later would result in future problems. However, the first thing I did to help my family in 2001 to survive financial crisis was move out of my room into the living room and rent out my room to college students or young singles working their way up. Another way that even now I still use is to always be looking out for deals, whether it's Black Friday sales or clearance sales or people who are in need of cash. You can find deals and value. There's a saying that when there's blood on the streets, there's money to be made. Although this plays on people's weakness and poor circumstances, this inevitably does occur and deals are out there. This includes buying things that are valuable at auctions and on informal sites like Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist. Now, many people have made lots of money doing side hustles like buying cheap furniture for $100, repainting them for $20, and selling it back on the marketplace like Craigslist for a profit. This is the step you go through. 1. Make sure there are people looking for this product and that there are transactions, so people are actually buying these items. Remember, the lowest asking price where the item can be sold within 3 days. 2. Use Marketplace, Craigslist, secondhand stores, discount retail stores like Nordstrom Rack, Marshalls, even weekend yard sales in nice suburban areas where wealthy people live. They often sell kids' toys and clothes for a fraction of the price, not to make money, but to make space for new clothes or for cleaning up their house. Junkyards also have treasures. Find deals that are at least 50% cheaper than the price people are paying for. Now, number 3, resell the items for a profit. Use similar postings and pictures with a price cheaper than other listings on the websites or wherever you're trying to sell them. The good thing about this type of micro entrepreneurship is that there is a small barrier to entry. You can easily double your money. If you finally saved up $300 and you found a box of car engine oil for cheap in a discount store, you can easily sell them separately on marketplaces and make $300 back, thus doubling your money. If you have done your homework, you will have almost zero risk. Now remember to add your profits to your total savings. Save 10 or 20% of your profits and then keep the rest for another investment. When you get good at this, you will be doing larger deals, reselling secondhand cars, even flipping houses. They involve the same skills of first market research, looking for products, then reselling it or flipping it for a higher price. Renting out a room is what I did to survive in college. I lived in my car for almost 3 months until I saved enough to rent a 3-bedroom house in San Diego, California. That's the first month rent plus 2 months deposit. The moment I signed the rental agreement, I reposted the 3 rooms on Craigslist and I got 3 college roommates. I charged $100 more for the master bedroom, $50 more for the other 2 single rooms. I bought a futon sofa and I slept in the dining room. I didn't put up curtains because I would change in the closet in the hallway and kept my belongings there. However, you can easily divide up the living room or dining room into another area with curtains or Chinese room dividers. And doing this, I learned how to rent out an apartment and manage tenants, including contracts. This is learning how to have passive income or money that comes in even though you don't work, even when you're sleeping, which I apply my entire life until now. In the future, you will be able to use the money you made from investing, flipping, and even renting out your room to buy a rental property, making you a landlord. So follow these guidelines and adjust when you get new and corrected information. The most important thing in managing your own financial resilience is being aware of the environment in which you are playing in. How you invest and guard against swindlers and trickery are different if you live in the US compared if you live in India or China or even Europe. Everywhere is different, but the human ambitions, fear, insecurities, they're all the same. We just use it in a different way. So if you want, go back and review these timeless advice and concepts and subscribe for more content to help you get control of your life back. Thank you for watching.